Hello all of you adorable fluff butts out there. Kitthesoulless here with yet another controversy in the fandom's recent history. This one is about a pair of people by the name of Fluffz and Stratcabbit, better known as Astrid Dragon. Now, Astrid decided to try to accuse Fluffz of being a pedophile and grooming her, and on the information she's given, it would seem like a legit issue. That is, of course, until we look into the issue a little further. So let's start with the accusation. Grooming of a minor. Astrid has stated that she was sent lewd imagery by Fluffz when she was only 16. Oh, wait. Apparently it was 14. Wait, 17? So it seems like this is where this starts to immediately break down, since it seems like Astrid has flat out lied about their age several times in this issue. So, we're already off to an amazing start. Case closed, let's go home. Seriously though, you didn't think that's where I'd end this, did you? Alright, so right away we have an issue with Astrid flat out lying, which is not a good look already. We also have a bit of information stating that dear Astrid intentionally went after Fluffz as well. With these two things alone, I could assume that this person has been lying through this entire thing for the sake of gaining fame or slandering a rival, since both of these people are considered to be at least moderately popular in the community because of their suits. This isn't an uncommon thing. I've actually talked about several other poppyfurs and the fact that they've been attacked socially in similar ways. I'll be doing another video about this phenomenon later as well, but for now we should probably focus on the issue at hand. So, due to this callout, others have chimed in, which is sort of par for the course, since we see this happen all the time with things like the Me Too movement, where a lot of the accusations were proven to be false, and simply a slew of outraged people trying to dogpile on one of the accused. Not saying, by the way, that the entirety of the movement was a bad idea, mind you, just that people made a major mistake in abusing the hashtag. Astrid has actually gone above and beyond to feign outrage for the sake of victim points, even going on a rant where she emphasized her status as a victim of the dreaded child groomer. Except for the fact that she's not actually a victim. First things first, in the country that Fluffz is from, the legal age of consent is 16 years old, and while yes, sending lewd stickers or images to people under the age of 18 online is technically wrong, and should be avoided, this is another point where the issue breaks down. See, if Astrid had been in the US in a state where the law centering around age of consent put it at 18, there would be a major issue, as well as grounds for legal action. She is, however, in North Carolina, where the legal age of consent, without limitations mind you, is 16. And since most people don't seem to know this, I'd like to point out that the age of consent laws in the US, much like in Canada, are technically governed by the state, not by federal law. So this entire interaction was legal for both parties, as both were officially seen in their respective areas as legal consenting adults. There is a technical legal gray area in this issue since it did occur online, but realistically, it's such a trivial issue at this point that most judges would likely just dismiss the case due to the age of consent laws. Another thing I should point out is that, going back to the issue of Astrid intentionally trying to get Fluffz to send them images, they're technically putting themselves in the same legal gray area. Another bit of information to note is that Astrid has attempted to post and cite Canadian law, but what's this? The images sent to them were not of a minor, but rather of an individual who was over the age of 18. This post in its entirety was an attempt to be misleading. When you look into these laws, you'll find that in Canada at least, it's only illegal to send images of individuals beneath the age of 18. Now, as far as I've been able to find in the several days I've been researching this one subset of laws, there is no law directly stating that you can't send pictures to a consenting 16-year-old, since in both places, the age of consent is 16. So in both areas, I will reiterate, they were seen as legal, consenting adults. So, in its entirety, this feels like the original person to call out Fluffz was doing so for the sake of hurting somebody out of jealousy or spite. I wonder where we've seen this before. Another thing I'd like to point out is that Astrid herself has mentioned that Fluffz should donate her stuff to all of her, quote, victims. One thing in particular being her fursuit, which Astrid apparently has shown a desire for in the past. So there is, in fact, the possibility that this is another reason why this individual would make the call out in the first place, using an accusation of child grooming against somebody to attempt to pressure them into giving dear Astrid a unique full-body suit. Now, these accusations, by the way, have led to a harassment campaign against Fluffz, with people going out of their way to decry them as a criminal, harass their friends and loved ones, and it's even led to calls for violence in which an individual literally told people to assault this suitor at a convention. Another noteworthy bit of harassment was when an individual decided to come out and claim that Fluffz, who is trans, wasn't actually trans. Now, this individual has no right to claim that they know the person they're harassing better than they know themselves. This is a major problem in our community, when people actively harass others or call for violent action due to outrage in general. Worse so when it's a response to what seems to be a fabricated controversy for the sake of creating drama in the community. Regardless of everything, though, I will note that my stance on controversies like this one is, has, and always will be, to let the authorities handle the situation. Attempting to weaponize your social media following for the sake of abusing others can actually be seen as illegal in a lot of ways. Anyhow, I'll likely be following up on this particular issue at a later date as well, but for now, that's all for this rant. Later, folks.